for sure.
I am. Dan, you know what?
Mob personality.
Dan, don't mess with me. Watch out. All right, let's dive into some top stories. Shefty starting with the latest on Jayden Daniels. Go ahead, Adam.
Laura, he was a limited participant in practice today. If he plays on Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, it looks like it might be with a knee brace while he's out there. Clearly not at full strength just yet. The Commanders had said he would be day-to-day going in, but the fact that he's back limited today is an encouraging sign for his availability on Sunday. We'll see how the rest of the practice week unfolds for Jayden Daniels, and it looks like the Commanders also could be without their wide receiver Terry McLaurin, who continues seeking medical information on his quad injury. That sounds like it might be something more or a little bit different than his quad. The team has said quad either way. Didn't practice today. Not a good sign for the start of the week, and his availability for Sunday certainly is in question. Brock Purdy will be limited at practice today, like Jayden Daniels, which I think is a good sign for his availability for Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last week, he was limited as well. They ruled him out on Sunday, but Purdy will have a chance, at least, to play this week. And if he can't, then Mac Jones would step in and replace him one more time. Jones day-to-day with a knee injury. Jaxson Dart was officially made the Giants starting quarterback, not just for Sunday against the Chargers, but in the words of Brian Daboll, for the rest of the season. Russell Wilson now will be the backup. Dart will be the starter, and we'll see how that impacts the Giants on Sunday. Certainly they're counting on that bringing a spark to their team and to the stadium, but Malik Neighbors didn't practice today as well, so that'll be something else the team has to monitor this week.
Yeah, against that Chargers defense, you'd hope you were
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you,
You know what?
The boss says bless you.
I'm allergic to all that, too. All right, new on NFL Live, Giants head coach Brian Daboll and quarterback Jaxson Dart spoke with the media moments ago.
It's my decision. We're going with Jaxson. We're going to get him ready to play this week and the remainder of the season. He's going to do everything he can. Russ will be the backup. I don't think any rookie quarterback is ever just ready to play. You put him in there because you think that he's done enough to show you that he can go out there and compete, and he's done that every step of the way. And that's why I made the decision.
I want to do my best to be a spark. I want to create excitement on the field. I want to be explosive when opportunities are there, and try to just bring a little bit of swagger.
Okay. We'll do that.
Hey, he's answering all the right questions the right way. Our Giants reporter, Jordan Renan, joins us now. Jordan, you were at Giants practice today. You hear Jaxson Dart talking about the spark. What were the vibes with his first practice as QB1?
Laura, let me take you behind the scenes at Giants practice, where Coach Brian Daboll, instead of moving station to station and unit to unit like he usually does, was standing right behind quarterback Jaxson Dart the entire time we were out there. Then afterwards, General Manager Joe Schoen and owner John Maurer were in the vicinity having conversations with Dart as well. This just speaks to the enormity of this decision for this franchise. It's also worth noting that Daboll said, "It's my decision," when turning to Dart. This shows that this regime needs to produce results, and Daboll knows that. That's why after just 3 games, Jaxson Dart is already the Giants quarterback in place of Russell Wilson. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks so much to Jordan for that. Phil, you covered Jaxson Dart a lot entering the draft this year. How do you see his transition going from college to the pros, knowing what you know about?
Yeah, the first thing is going to be pretty fundamental. Jaxson Dart played 98.6% of his snaps from shotgun during his final season at Ole Miss.
The vein of my existence.
I know it, Dan. We were at the Senior Bowl, and he was literally practicing the quarterback-center exchange because he had so infrequently done that in college, right? The Giants kind of planted the seeds about the eventual move to Jaxson Dart in the first 3 weeks. After playing just 69% of their snaps out of the gun last year, the Giants are at 84% in the early goings of the season. Part of that might be because they were playing from behind and playing in some high-octane games. That being said, the offense is going to largely play out of the gun for Jaxson Dart. What he offers that Russell Wilson does not offer at this stage of his career is legitimate mobility. Now, at Ole Miss, it wasn't a ton of designed runs because they didn't really need him to run all that much when they were throwing for 350 yards a game and putting up 35 points most Saturday afternoons. But there is an element of mobility that we're going to see there from Jaxson Dart we have not really seen from Russell Wilson. But I do think some of this is about like meeting the player in the middle. Like I think there have been some concerning things we've seen from the Giants offense for the first 3 weeks with the utilization of Malik Neighbors. Dan, I know you've been hot on this. Man. His average depth of target through 3 weeks is nearly 17 yards, fourth highest in the NFL. Last year it was 50th at like 9.5 yards. I want to see more, like make life easy on Jaxson Dart by giving the best player on your offense by far some opportunities with the football in his hands.
I love that too, especially the part about meeting him in the middle. Because when you have a new quarterback, especially a young one, like Russ is new as well. When Russ came in, it's more of the quarterback's responsibility to get to know the receivers, right? How can we make this operation work the best that it can with my game and how I like to do things and what these receivers are good at? Well, now in this situation, when you have a young quarterback, it works in the opposite. These receivers are going to have to set the offense up to say, okay, well, how quickly does he like to throw the ball? Like, look at this. This is Russell Wilson, and you're used to those moon balls over top. But with Jaxson Dart and these deep balls, you're going to see him drive it more on those very similar passes. So you're going to have to know if I'm running this route, how quickly I need to look, what the positioning I need to have with the defensive back is. And again, the main goal is to give a young quarterback as clear a picture as possible as soon as possible. It's going to be on the receivers as well for that responsibility to make sure as best they can that Jaxson Dart isn't considering or having to think about too much.
Yeah, so I would fully expect no huddle from this offense in relation to like clearing of the picture. And not just attached to what the receiver does, but also maybe minimizing what the defense can do. And so in that, I think a huge thing for Brian Dable and Mike Kafka, their head coach and then offensive coordinator, is like, you better make sure this young man knows where Derwin James is because he's that piece where if you're in no huddle, you might be going so fast we're like, oh, he's at the line of scrimmage, and then he's all of a sudden this blitzer, and that 2nd and 8 run play that you had that looked good, it's dead. I've talked about screens more. They need to run more screens, and they need to get them to Malik. Watch this play by Derwin. First of all, he's lined up on the bottom of the screen. This is something one of the reasons why they're good on defense is they flip him and he's kind of that chess piece wherever. He's got the screen back. He goes to the screen before the back goes to the screen. So if I'm the Giants, I'm not throwing a screen towards the Derwin James. I will check out of it. I don't care if I can or can't. I would not have him blocked when he's a blitzer by a tight end. I would mandate that he has to be protected by at least, if you're going to be tight ends, 2 of them, or an offensive tackle. And then you just have to know where he is when it comes into your quarterback run game, which I would expect the Giants to use. And so this is a big challenge. I think the no huddle will help him. The only caveat is when you're going so fast, sometimes you lose sight of where these guys are. Look at where Derwin lines up. He's got to know where he is at all times.
That is such a great point because, as you know, especially for a guy in his first NFL game ever, things are going to look a certain way on the X's and O's. They're going to look a certain way on film, but you're not going to be able to account for those X-factor kind of players that are just going to do something completely off script that you had zero plan for. We played against Palomalu. There was one specific play, like in short yardage goal line. We planned for him all week. He came to the line of scrimmage and did a 360 like spin move in between 2 people backwards.
Were you supposed to block him?
And then do you obsess over him, but then do you not pay attention to him? And then all you're thinking about is him.
And the first time when you're like new to the league, you feel like you just played against a superhero.
Your hair is on fire.
We could do the entire show on this. I get it. It's been very uninspiring with Russ. And I know I heard you say this on TV this morning as well, Dan. A little nervous about this being the first challenge for Jaxson Dart.
You would have liked for it to be the next week against the Saints. The other thing about Jesse Minter's defenses, as LA's DC, the last 2 seasons, the Chargers have the best scoring defense in the league. Bye.